Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, we're going to be discussing with you the two different types of jumla that we're going to find when we are studying the Arabic language. Now, in one of the previous videos, we talked about the different types of kalimat, or the different types of words that we're going to find. And obviously, once we put these words together, we're going to begin making sentences. So it's important for us to know exactly what are the different types of sentences that we will be using, and also how to construct them. As we said a minute ago, we're going to talk about the different types of jumla that we're going to find. Now, in the Arabic language, there are two different types of sentences. And in English, we call them the nominal sentence and the verbal sentence. The first of these is the Jumlat al-Ismiyya, and this is the nominal sentence. This is the sentence that starts with a noun. And then we have the Jumla al-Fi'liyya, and as we said, this is the verbal sentence. This is the sentence that starts with a verb. And inshallah, I'm going to give you a few examples so that you know what they look like. But I do want to point out to you that in the English language, we generally only use the nominal sentence. We never start a sentence with a verb. If you do that, someone's going to think that you don't have a good grasp on the English language, or they're going to think that maybe English is your second language. We obviously would always say that Muhammad closed the door. We would never say that closed the door Muhammad, or drank the water Ahmed. We wouldn't say things like this. We obviously start with the noun. We say Muhammad closed the door. We say Ahmed sat on the chair, and things along these sorts. So we only use the nominal sentences. Now, that's a big difference between what you're going to find in learning the English language and the Arabic language. Because as we said, in the Arabic language, we have both types of sentences. As far as some examples, now the first one we want to talk about is the Jumlat al-Ismiyya, and this is the Jumla, or the sentence that starts with a noun. Like for example, when we said, if you look at the screen, Muhammad katab ad-dars. Obviously, Muhammad is a noun. It's an ism. And this is why this Jumla is called al-Jumla al-Ismiyya. We said Muhammad wrote the dars. And I also want to say that you should be writing these sentences down so that you can also as well take the vocabulary from these sentences. Muhammad kataba, he wrote ad-dars. And the dars is the lesson. Likewise, the second sentence. Ahmed sharib al-ma. Ahmed is the noun. Shariba, he drank. Al-ma, the water. And Umar akala at-ta'am. Umar is the noun. Akala is the verb. He ate. At-ta'am is the food. So you see in all three of these sentences, we began each sentence with a noun. Now the second type of sentence that we want to talk about or give you some examples of is the Jumla al-Fi'liyya. Al-Jumla al-Fi'liyya. The Jumla that starts with the verb. Now we're going to use similar sentences to the ones we just mentioned, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The first of these sentences, as you see, it says Kataba Muhammad ad-Dars. Now you see the same three words are in this sentence that we used in the first sentence for the Jumla al-Ismiyya. But here we started with the verb, Kataba Muhammad ad-Dars. This is something we can't do in English. We don't say wrote Muhammad the dars. We say Muhammad wrote the dars. But in the Arabic language, you can flip between the two. And the second sentence is Shariba Ahmed al-ma. Ahmed drank the water. Ahmed drank the water. And here we see again the sentence starts with the verb shariba. And the third of these sentences is akala Umar at-ta'am. And we see here the first of the words in the sentence is akala. Here he's saying that Umar ate the ta'am again, but we're beginning the sentence with the verb. As we said, this is why each of these sentences is classified as a jumla al-fi'liya. Al-jumla al-fi'liya. Now, why is this important? Because as you go further in your studies, you will begin to realize that there's a difference between saying Muhammad katab ad-dars and katab Muhammad ad-dars. There's a small difference in the meaning of these two sentences. Yes, they both mean Muhammad wrote the lesson. But what is intended by one isn't necessarily what is intended by the other. And I don't want to go too far off of track right now because, as we said, we just wanted to focus on the two types of sentences and being able to identify these two types. But just keep in mind that this is a very important dars, so pay attention to it and focus on it. Because there is definitely a difference in meaning, a small difference between the Jumla al-Ismiya and the Jumla al-Fi'liya. And inshallah ta'ala, as we said, as you continue on in your studies, you will begin to pick up on the difference that we're mentioning here. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.